welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be eating on a deshelled seafood boil. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the post notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. So yes, today we have some deshelled king crab, lobster tail, shrimp, some boiled eggs, corn on the cob, some bell peppers, and we also have my homemade butter sauce. Oh, and I also have true crime. So if you like true crime, then you should like this video. You should stick around. But we about to go ahead and get to eating, y'all. So I'm gonna put my sauce just a little bit closer so I can be able to get to it. So how's everybody been? Let me know down below in the comments. And I pretty much push my food all the way up to the camera so y'all can see it as to why I'm reaching, because I know somebody gonna ask. That is so good. That boiled egg was so good, y'all. That's good. We just gonna eat a little bit first, y'all. Here's some lobster tail. That is good. We're gonna eat a corn on the cob, and then I could start telling the story. Okay. I had one silent on y'all for a minute. It was so good. Okay. So Mark, he is a head pastor. He is also married to Susan. They've been married for 24 years. They have 3 kids, excuse me, y'all. They have 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy named Daniel. And Daniel, he's an athlete. He plays tailback, defensive linebacker. Very athletic. He's a really like outgoing kid, very loving and just pretty much full of life. And one day he went snowboarding and he ended up hurting his back. Doctors tell Mark and Susan, Daniel's mom and dad, that Daniel shouldn't play any more sports, because if he do and he breaks his back, that it would leave him paralyzed. And they also told him that Daniel shouldn't run, that he should just walk. That's how bad he hurt his back. So Daniel ended up taking on something else. He ended up taking on video games. So Daniel took on video games, and he was like really obsessed with playing video games. So his favorite 2 games was Call of Duty and Halo. Halo was probably his favorite game. So in Halo, he had to eliminate aliens. So he really was obsessed with playing shooting games pretty much. Now, Daniel's dad, Mark, said that Daniel would go 3 straight days playing the video games. Like, didn't want to do anything else, just was in his room. He would come out sometimes to use the bathroom and to eat like a bowl of cereal. But Daniel became very, secluded. So one day, Daniel goes to his parents, Mark and Susan, and asks them, can he get the new game, Halo 3? Now at this time, Mark and Susan already had banned video games in the house, period. They didn't want him playing video games. So of course they told Daniel no to getting the new game, Halo 3. One day, Daniel ended up sneaking out of his bedroom window to go get the new game, Halo 3. So as Daniel was coming back in the house, well, in the window, Susan was standing right there, which is his mom. And she asked him, like, what are you doing? And he was like, well, I just got back from buying Halo 3, the video game. So Mark comes in the room and he goes, what did we tell you? Like, we said no video games, and we don't care if you spent $70 on this video game, you're not playing it, and we taking it. So Mark ended up taking the video game. He puts it in his safe right next to his 9mm pistol. He was like, okay, let me lock it up so that way Daniel can't get to it. One day, Daniel comes out of his bedroom and he tells his parents, like, look, I have a surprise for y'all. And so Mark and Susan looks at Daniel like, okay. And so Daniel was like, but you need to close your eyes. So before they closed their eyes, they both looked at each other and was like, oh, okay. I guess they said that they figured Daniel was basically going to give them something to apologize for him being so obsessive when it comes to the video games. So they ended up closing their eyes. So Daniel walks back into the room. He walks. Now, Mark and Susan, they have their eyes closed. They were sitting on the couch. Daniel walks behind the couch and he shoots his father in the back of the head. Then he turns to his mother, fire off 4 shots at her, hitting her 3 times, and she died almost instantly. Daniel took the gun. He was trying to pin it on his dad, Mark. And so Daniel took the gun and puts it in his father's hand and was like, here, trying to get him the gun. And Mark was, refusing it, because at this point, Mark is still alive. Even though he was shot in the back of the head, he was still alive. And so Daniel tried to give him the gun in his hand, and Mark wouldn't take it. During this time, Mark's daughter and his son-in-law arrived to the house, and they knocking at the door. Daniel yells, "Get away from the door and don't come in here." So Mark's son-in-law busted open the door, knocking Daniel out of the way. And he looks in the house. He see blood everywhere. He see the gun on the table. So he turns to his wife, who was on the porch, because she didn't come in yet. Mark's daughter didn't come in the house. Only the son-in-law did. So he turns and looked at his wife and was like, "Don't come in here. Call 911.
My mom is shot and my dad is shot and my brother's here. My brother said, don't come in, don't come in."
Daniel flees the scene in a family minivan. But he takes one thing with him. It wasn't a gun. Daniel took Halo 3 with him. And where was he going? He was going to play Halo 3 at his friend's house. But before he was able to get to his friend's house, police ended up pulling Daniel over. And so he started telling stories to the police.
Being heard about. My dad, he shot my mom and he shot himself. My dad shot my mom! Why would my dad shoot my mom? I don't know, man.
So police ended up taking Daniel in for questioning.
My dad was just yelling, just screaming at my mom. And then I heard my dad walk in the room, into his bedroom, and then walk back out. I ran out there, and my mom had been shot. He pointed the gun at me, and then he said he was sorry, and then he shot himself.
So police start to notice that it was cracks in Daniel's story. Stuff just wasn't adding up. So they started to up the interrogation. They started to be more aggressive with him and, trying to get him to tell the truth. So eventually, Daniel started to tell the truth.
Just kind of snapped and did it. It wasn't something I really thought about.
So Daniel ended up going to trial, obviously. So he goes to trial. Daniel's dad, Mark, ended up showing up. And he wanted the court to have mercy on his son, Daniel. But of course, they didn't, because they felt like it was planned. So they gave Daniel 23 years to life. . Messed up. So that's the end of that. Now, Daniel's dad said that he actually hated him. That he would just lay in bed and just hate his son. And he said he had to do a lot of praying, and he said eventually, you know, forgiveness kind of creeped into his heart for him to forgive his son. And that's why he went to court and had and spoken, you know, let them know, like, could you please just have mercy on my son? And Mark even said, like, Daniel, I'm guessing that he used to visit, that he was visiting Daniel in court, I mean in prison, because Mark tells the judge, like, Daniel really misses his mom and basically he's really sorry. So y'all let me know down below what y'all think of it as true crime. Now, the judge was saying that he feel like, even though Daniel got 23 years to life, he really believed that Daniel didn't know the difference between the video game and basically harming his parents. Because he felt in his head that with the video game, you know how you eliminate alien or whatever, and then the next day you come back and play the same video games and doing the same thing. He's saying that that's what Daniel mind was working like, where he killed his parents. He thought the next day it would be something totally different. I don't know if I believe that. But I guess it's possible. I don't know. Anything is possible. I don't know. So he killed his parents all because they said he couldn't play video games anymore, and that he couldn't play his new video game, Halo 3. Like the detective was saying, and he was saying that video games does play a big part on your kid's mental state, and that it may not get to that extreme like Daniel, but it will change other things, like their behavior will become more aggressive.
I think Daniel has some underlying mental issues though.
I think they gave him I'm sure they did give him a psych eval for something like this, you know, something that went on like this. I'm almost sure they did, because when you think about it, they had to, because he left the scene. He killed his parents, left the scene with his video game, and was on his way to his best friend's house to play the video game. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. I would really appreciate it. If you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the post notification bell. Also, please give this video a like if you want more true crimes, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.